I mean, I'm probably gonna clip this off because I don't like, maybe saying stuff that I don't want other people to see on this podcast. That.
So I was 6 weeks in a recovery clinic, and
It's like, why do you expect, like, do you think that any relationship is gonna be like easy? So, welcome, Krissi, to the Pole with Lulu podcast, where we mainly talk about health, calisthenics, fitness, and athletics. So without further ado, if you don't mind, we can start the podcast. And my first question is if you could introduce yourself, who you are, what you do. Yeah.
yes, thank you for the invitation for the podcast. Very nice to be here with you. My name is Krissi. I'm 13 years old and I live in Germany. And I start my pole dance journey in the end of 2019. And from there on 2020, I had an accident and I couldn't walk for a year. And the doctors told me, stop dancing, stop doing that. You can be happy if you can walk again. And then I came back and fighting for everything. And then I starting with pole again in the end of 2021.
Okay.
And I start with my first pole competition in 2023 on PSO.
Yeah, so that was going to be my next question. So, like, my next question was going to be how did you like get into pole, if you want to talk about that, and like maybe what is your like pole story, and
Yeah.
yeah, your
Yes. I start with pole dance because of my cousin. She said, "Oh, once in my life, I want to do pole dance." And I thought, okay, maybe I go with you. And then we start pole dancing together. And she left the sport, and I was so, oh my God, I love everything on this, the community and the people. And then I stayed there and I make a competition on PSO was my first and makes the first place. And then more competitions with doubles and on Mystic Art competition. And last year I started to make a trainer for aerial silk and stretching, and in the end of the year for pole
Can I
dance.
ask, why did your friend decide to leave? Did she just leave because she wanted to leave, or did she not like it?
I think she liked it, but she's the type of human who wants to do a lot of stuff in her life,
Oh,
and
okay.
then she get a man and married and a children and do
Yeah,
other hobbies. So the life
yeah.
changed. But she told me she want to come back again, maybe
Okay.
next year.
I want to like try something. Can you tell me about, because like in your bio it says BA mental health. So what exactly is that? Are you
Yes.
like a bachelor in mental health?
Yes. Last year I make bachelor in mental health. I'm a psychiatric nurse and I studied. And my theme of my bachelor work was flexibility training and what does it make with your mental health. Yes.
Okay, so you've studied like, but you didn't study like mental disorders or anything, right? Or
It was in there, mental disorders too, from
okay.
mental health. Yes.
Because I was thinking like I want to do something like I guess a bit different from you in this podcast, because like you have like I think it's such a great combination. It's like to like you do the pole thing and then you also have this like bachelor's mental health thing, and I think that's a really good combination. And even though this is about calisthenics fitness and stuff like that, so I'm gonna put myself a little bit on the stand if that's okay and be like I guess a bit of a patient in that sense, because I feel like there's a lot of people who maybe would be looking for mental health, but necessarily don't get the mental health that they need, or maybe it's expensive, or some people are just like, maybe some people have this thought that like mental illnesses are just like blah, 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 like made up, or, and it is true that sometimes like mental institutions and, I guess certain people can take advantage of you if you do have a mental disorder or something like that, because you are like at your most vulnerable point and somebody wants to make money somewhere. So, you
Yeah.
never know. But Yeah, so it's just gonna be like I'm gonna be a bit of a patient, I guess, here and asking you questions like related to both sides, but like maybe talk about like mental health, maybe in terms of like athletes, like if somebody wants to do pole like very, very well and they want to be like the best, and it's true that there's a lot of mental health issues in the sort of say athlete space specifically regarding when you get to high performance, it's like obvious, like no wonder. But how if somebody wants to maintain and stay consistent and perform their best, like what are maybe some key tips that you would give, regardless, like to keep your mind strong? Because the mind and the body are like very intertwined, you know. So
Yes.
yeah,
So I would say you should focus on yourself and don't look to the people who are very, very high. Look day by day. What do you do which is good? What does you help? Maybe there's only a little thing. Be yeah, mindfulness on your training. Yeah, if you are on your train and you don't have a good day or so, look what you feel, what you need, and yeah, be careful here what your inner thoughts are, and look only on yourself, not too much Instagram, too
yeah.
much
So
stuff.
social media, like
Yes.
I feel like in this, especially my generation, there's like I feel like there's been like the mental illnesses have really grown.
Mm.
And I think it's especially maybe more regarding, I think it's actually both women and men, because the way I guess like humans, the mind and the brain, like how fast it adapts in biology is a lot slower to how we're able to as humans like create. And it's like kind of it's good, like it can be very good, like right now we have social media, we can do Zoom and everything, but then it can be very bad, especially like if it's like given to under young kids and everything like that. And there are some people who just want to make money, so when I'm seeing some things are not like necessarily always good to sell, like let's say like drugs, alcohol, and those are very prominent also in the sport
Mm.
industry. So but it's sometimes I guess when like certain people go into certain situations, then they feel like you know that.
Mm.
But maybe I want to talk about like the mind body connection, like when I think I saw this like from I was watching a Stanford, I guess like neuroscientist podcast or something, and he said when the mind is faulty, look to the body, like
Mm.
because they're so like very connected. So if you're maybe like feeling, I guess, so-called depressed, or you feel like oh, I can't think straight, or like you're always like worried about something and it's really draining the life out of you, the way to fix that is basically start taking actions with your physical body, and then
Mm.
that will in turn like somehow transfer to the mind, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
and put you
Yes.
automatically into a better state. And then
Yeah.
vice versa, it's like if the body is faulty, like say you're overweight, or
Mm.
you're very like your posture is like very bad, or your like muscles
Mm.
are always tense, or you have like a problem, say breathing normally, like
Mm.
breathing, like you're always like your breath is somehow,
Mm.
then you look to the mind as like,
Mm.
what are your thoughts? It's kind of like vice versa in that sense. But
Mm.
do you agree with that statement? Because I want to see your opinion as well, even though this is a so-called expert guy. But what do you think about that statement?
Yes, I think the body and the mind is always in a connection, and it's important to look all the time to both from it. I write my bachelor work about bend your body, mend your mind, and it's mean that when you stretch your body and everything, your mind gonna be grow too. No, that's you. It's you told about when someone has not a good posture and the muscles are short and everything. And if you stretch, you do something for your body to make it better, but it's gonna in your mind too. The study said that it's against depression, anxiety, and you get more sleep well, and you need to look at both sides. So I don't think that you only should look at your body when your mind is full, but look all the time on everything. And look what your body says to you. That's important. It's
Yes. I think yes, that is true. Um, um, and then I want to ask, because like, of course, as human beings, if you want to be really good at pole, which I hopefully will be one day, or maybe I'm running out of time. I'm, but but how old were you like when you started pole?
it was for I think I was 26 or 27 when I started with it. So I'm not starting with young. I
And how old are
remember,
you now?
yes, when I first started with the pole, I couldn't hold a chair spin. You know, chair spin, it's a very
Yeah,
beginner move, and
I'm,
I
I'm,
thought
I'm
I
looking
could
at your
do
Instagram because
it.
so you
So
started when you
maybe
were
24.
26. You started
Uh,
24, 26.
yes. And in the end of 2019, but then one year I had no, I was ill because of an accident. I couldn't work one year. So it's the third 4 years I do pole. 4 years.
Did you did
Yes.
you did you have like an athletic background before that? Like, did you do dance?
No, I've done nothing before.
Where
I was in the fitness studio and
uh,
it didn't work, the fitness studio. I didn't lose weight. I didn't get more friends. I was
were you were you fat or out of shape before?
um, I'm really small, so I'm only 1 meter 65, and
Okay.
but I think I was normal, a little bit too high maybe, so 60 kilos.
But in
But,
terms of body, like, were you like, because some people are either like super weak, like in women, I usually see this. They're
mm,
either super weak and skinny and because they don't like exercise at all, or then some of them, like I'm talking about the unhealthy types. Uh,
mm,
because nowadays, like, I don't know, life is so, especially after Corona came, like people
yes.
just were like, whatever, I can order food. Fuck it, it's so easy to be, lazy and fat. And I kind of get it. Like it's in our biology. We haven't evolved yet to like be like, we need to fix this.
Mm,
It's kind of like people are rapidly now like evolving, I guess, into the human brain and mind that like, okay, I need to do something. Otherwise, it's not good. And we understand now, but like, it's not like very in our nature, I guess, or encoded in our DNA yet. But were you, when you were like in your early teens, like, or a teenager, were you like unhealthy, would you say? Or,
mm,
or were
I
you,
think in my teenager, I drank a lot of alcohol on parties and something like that.
but did you
Then
exercise or go to the gym?
to gym in the teenage, no, no, not really,
So
no.
you were just like maybe just doing the regular stuff, walking and, you know, normal tasks.
Yes, yes. Mm.
Okay.
When I was 3 years or four, I was in ballet, but only 1 or 2 years. Then I think it doesn't matter. Yes.
Yeah. But like I think I'm that's really great because I mean from your Instagram people like unless I guess I would talk to you, I would like assume, I think people sometimes have this notion that like, oh, it might be too late or like whatever, I'm never gonna make it. But it's like if you start
Mm.
somewhere, it's amazing if you stay consistent with that thing, how far you can actually get. And I think you're living proof of that, which is very important because we need more people like this. Because
Oh, thank you.
yeah, I'm being honest, because like I've seen so many people like just, kind of like I guess give up and be like, oh well, whatever, I'm not gonna make it, and not like I guess like be maximize their potential, which could then because like if you take care of yourself well as a human being and whatever, then you're automatically affecting the people around you. whether
Mm.
we like it or not. It's just life. You live on this planet. Okay.
Yes. Okay, I think it's important to get goals, but not only goals. You need to have fun when you do
Yeah,
polls.
yeah,
So
of course.
not much pressure, not so much. You need to have fun.
Yeah,
Sometimes I turn only music on, and then I don't think about what I do. I do improvising, and it can get you high, and it's the important thing about it. Don't lose the fun. Don't only have goals, have fun, and
yeah.
yeah, the
I
goal.
guess I'm also like kind of starting to realize that, sometimes I feel like maybe and I think it sort of is I mean, I'm gonna like, if you don't mind, like maybe I'm gonna ask you like about relationships and breakups. Like, you don't have to talk about anything personally, but it's I think it's a normal part of life that human beings, maybe you like somebody and they don't like you back, or you break up
Mm,
with a person and you never see them again, and it's like I feel like for some people it's not that bad, but I feel like for most people it is hard, and it's like, how do you maybe, what is the best mental health kind of advice that you would give to somebody who's like maybe going through heartbreak, or maybe they like somebody and the other person doesn't like them back?
the most important thing is to talk about it, search for a person you have a good connection for, and that you talk about it, what's inside, no? And don't leave it only in you, but talk about it, and you can always take professional helps. There are phones, the internet where you can for free call, and you can go to therapist or something. If you think you need more help, then use it, speak about it, and maybe you can write down. It could help if you write every day your thoughts down. What are you thinking? How do you feeling? Take a look at you. What do you need? And maybe you can start to be thankful for three things in a day, to see the positive in life, that you write down three things today. I'm thankful. One thing for me today is I'm thankful that you asked me for the podcast. And it's example, it's very nice. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, don't leave it all inside. Do
Yeah.
something good for you. Go outside, dance,
Yeah,
laugh.
and I'm happy to have you too as well. And
Thank you.
but be like, I'm gonna ask you like this is like, maybe this is just, can I maybe ask you for some personal advice? I mean, I'm probably gonna clip this off because I don't like, maybe saying stuff that I don't want other people to see on this podcast. So when I edit this video, I'm gonna take this off. But I guess it's like been maybe I'm trying to like stop this habit, because I guess it happened like more in high school. But it's like kind of been a consistent habit with me, where if I meet like say uh, like a guy, and I get into a more close relationship with them, or I start liking them. Like, I'm okay with like my guy friends and everything. I have like friends who are guys, but it's like the minute it starts like to get more, say more like intimate or sexual or whatever, it goes through this like cycle of like, okay, it's going really well, we're very together, blah blah blah, everything's fine. And often, because I do have like goals in mind and I do have things that I want to accomplish, I try to follow them. And then after that, maybe I get clingy because I still like somehow, want to be with this person. And maybe that's like a little bit of my fault. It's like, if life maybe pulls you people into different directions, then there's no like there's no reason to like try to, cling on to this other person, especially if the person maybe doesn't want to be with, like, isn't, and I get it, like guys who are younger, they maybe don't want to commit, like be in long-term relationships and so on. But it's been a consistent habit where like, okay, everything's going fine. Then after that, like we maybe somehow like we don't like we're not living in the same country, or I don't know, maybe like we don't see each other that much, and then I start like being clingy, and then after that it's like it ends like always that we don't want to be like it's like either I get blocked by them because I'm just like so I guess like so clingy, and I like text them because I think maybe I think too much, and then after that like I get like blocked by them, and it's like kind of hard because some sometimes like I wish that like maybe they would try a bit more.
Mm,
It's like, why do you expect, like, do you think that any relationship is gonna be like easy, you know,
mm,
like in that sense? And and I would like to stop maybe if there is something you could give like inciting this, I guess, repeated cycle that
mm,
kind of has occurred in my life because it's happened now. Wait, I think at least 3 or 4 times. Like
mm,
3 or 4 times. So I feel like it's like a very repetitive thing. So how would I maybe stop this from happening? And I see
mm,
people around me, like maybe my sister or my cousin, like whenever their relationship ends with like I guess in an intimate like partnership or whatever way,
mm,
it's never like they don't want to see each other, they want to talk to each other, like they get
mm,
blocked. It's like this, they're still friends, they're still okay,
mm.
it's
Okay.
fine. But I feel like
Mm,
for me, it's always like hardcore, like
yes,
cut
hurts.
off. And it's
Yeah,
I don't like losing people like that. So
yeah,
how what would you say like I could do to stop,
mm,
maybe doing that like that
yes.
from happening?
Thank you for your open words. It
Yeah.
sounds very hard. I'm so sorry
No,
that
it's
you're
okay. I
sad
just
about it.
but
Yeah,
whatever.
it sound that it's happened ever again and again, what you said. Yeah, and sometimes you need to take a look in your side, what's wrong there or what is inside that this thing happened. It could be something maybe in your childhood, there could be something, and sometimes you couldn't see the things alone. Sometimes it's need a therapist or something to talk about. And there, I don't know the word in English, schema therapy, maybe.
What is
And
that all about?
that's a thing where you can look, everybody has such sentences in yourself.
Hmm.
Someone thinks I will be ever be alone, or I'm not worth to be loved, or everybody would be nobody will love me, I'm only small, I can do things alone. There could be so sentences in every one of us, and you need to find these sentences. Which sentences is there inside of you? And think about your childhood, about something. Maybe you can check where are the sentences from, and then you need to realize which is inside me and need to change it. So example on pole dance, maybe you can think, I'm not strong, I'm not pretty, I will never be emotional on a choreo or something, and have negative thoughts. And then you need to take a look, okay, what have I done in my life, where was I strong? Take a look, where did the things work good? Maybe it's bad with the guys, the relationships, but maybe you can look, do you have a best friend,
Yeah.
also a girlfriend? What is good about it? How did the friendship work? Maybe you can look on other sides, which is good in the end. How does this work?
So you're
And
basically saying that look at all the negative maybe sentences or thoughts
yes,
and try to
yes,
change them into positive
yes,
ones.
yes,
Both like through what I'm doing in my life and both just thinking wise. Okay,
yes,
that's one
yes.
way. And number two is maybe it's something from my childhood that might have affected this kind of
Mm,
behavior in me.
it could be.
Yeah.
Yes,
And number
yes.
three is just talk to friends, maybe hang out with like other socialized humans, that kind of stuff. Okay. And maybe I think actually fourth one is maybe why I'm so upset is because it really sometimes sucks that maybe it's the people and the traits that I'm choosing. So maybe avoid
Mhm.
those kind of traits. Like, of course, I think, be open, give everybody a chance. If God brings somebody into your life, like, they're maybe there for a reason. And if you have to work with people, and there are different kinds of people. But maybe just learn how to let go. And if I look at all the four people who I guess I've liked or whatever, this has like gone always south and it's been like a bam in the face, like like after that, just cut, never see again, never talk again.
Yeah.
We don't know each other. Let's
Oh.
pretend. But like this, so it's kind of like if they all have something in common, like then maybe avoid that one thing that they have all in common, because this is
Mm.
more likely to happen with this kind of person if they all have this one thing in common. Yeah. So I'm like I think that might be another way. I guess I'm just trying to find solutions, and I think it helps talking to you, even though we just met. But yeah, I think that's good. I think that's good advice. And what is your best, I guess, if you had to give the best one sentence or just a short one best mental health advice, what would you say it is?
Ah, it's difficult.
Yeah.
I would say live day by day and look what make you happy, not what the others want from you, not what you need to do for others. Look on you. What makes you happy? What do you need? Be for yourself there.
Okay. I have like I guess two more kind of questions. So since you do pole and you're doing it and you've been injured and unable to walk, what are
Yeah.
your best tips for recovery? Like as a person who's like now training pole and things.
Um, don't give up.
Okay.
That's the best tip. Do everything you can do to come back, and you will get stronger. So, and be careful. Don't start walking or coming back too early if there are injury too. Write down your dreams. I've when I was in the hospital, I've have photos from me from the circus all over there, and the doctors called me patient Roncalli. It's a circus here in Germany. It was very funny, and it helps me a lot to have all the pictures there, to have the dreams, to writing down, and the pole community came to me too in the hospital. So talk with everyone and get together to be strong. So, and don't stop dreaming, fighting.
I think that's both like I guess that's like a little bit more on the mental side of recovery. But like what about the physical side? Like what did you do to recover like physically, and what do you think was the best thing that you did when you were going through that?
So I was 6 weeks in a recovery clinic and need to start learn walking again from the first steps now. And every day I trained hard a lot. I do everything to come back and take the advice from the physios. I make the practices every day. I need to do them every day. Now I couldn't stop to do them because the injury is forever. And yes, and keep stretching. Flexibility training is important too. If you couldn't do poles, then search for other things you can do. I've trained for spagat, and then I got the touchdown after the accident, and do other things which are in the side of pole, and it does feel well too.
Yeah. And my last question is stretching wrong worse than not stretching at all? Because I mean, I think it's important. Let's make it clear. it's important that you try to stretch correctly.
Yes.
Okay? Try to stretch correctly. But then I guess some people have the fear that, oh, I'm not going to stretch at all because I'm doing it wrong, or they want to get so perfect. And I think my opinion on this is like, I think it's better you stretch. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit wrong, try to make it right, especially if you're young. Maybe if you're older, oh,
Mm.
we have 10 minutes because I don't have this upgrade pro because that costs. But anyways,
Oh.
because so the thing is like basically because the older you get, it's more dangerous. So maybe then don't stretch if you've had like very many injuries. But I feel like
Mm.
if you're young, kind of like 20, 20 in between 20, 30 in your teens, like it's better to stretch than not stretch at all, okay? Try to do it
Mm.
right, try to get the good correct coach, but what's your opinion? That
Mm. I think it's individual how and you need to feel and look on your body, what sets your body. If it's hurt too much, then don't do it. I told my students always, if you can't breathe, it's too much. So take a look at yourself. When you can breathe, it's okay, then stay there. But if you are so much in the stretches you can't breathe, then go out of it. Yes,
that's a very
everyone
good indicator. I'm gonna
same.
yeah.
Yes.
So, because I've always tried to like indicate, how do I indicate if I'm stretching right or wrong? If you can't breathe, stop the stretch. If you can breathe,
Yes.
good, go go. But but
Breathing is so important, and it's a signal from our body to say stop, it's enough. And breathing is so important. And if you breathe deeper and you stretch when you sit in your spagat and you breathe in your stomach, not in your chest, you need to breathe in your stomach, then you get deeper and deeper. How much breath? And it's you don't need to stretch years to go further. Only need to breathe. That's the key of everything.
okay. Yes, Entschuldigung, Krissi. I'm so happy to have had you on my podcast, but I
Oh,
wish I
thank
didn't have
you.
to end so fast, but it's like running out of time. So, I mean, I'm so grateful and I'm happy that you took the time out of your day to really come here, and I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so
Thank you for the invitation. It was very nice of you. And if something, text me also.
Yes, I
We
will
can
try.
stay in connection.
Okay, bye.